Good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday, January 9th, and here's your weekly news roundup. So, in response to failed YouTuber, now turned right-wing grifter Nick Shirley's investigation in Minneapolis, the current presidential administration seized on this opportunity to run with the racist dog whistle narrative created around Somali people in Minnesota through this dishonest report. They sent 2,000 ICE agents in Minneapolis to surge into the city in an attempt to cause another massive wave of kidnappings and deportations. This resulted in the killing of Renee Good on Wednesday, which was recorded and went viral, causing protests to break out across the country. However, this isn't even the first time that ICE has shot and killed somebody recently. There have been at least 8 reported cases of ICE shooting and killing people, 30 plus people who have died within custody, and countless numbers of people who have been kidnapped, detained, kept in inhumane conditions, and deported just in the past year. Will these present protests build on the protests from last year that we saw happening in major cities like LA? Or will they fizzle out until the next viral moment or next major announced surge? We will keep our eyes and ears peeled on this situation. In international news, the US government shocked the world with its operation to kidnap President Maduro of Venezuela late in the evening last Friday. Despite the fact that Maduro had spoken to President Trump just days prior about reestablishing the sale of Venezuelan oil to the United States and other nationally aligned oil conglomerates, the conversations that Secretary of State Marco Rubio had with Trump undoubtedly had an effect on the choice for this military strike, which killed over 80 Venezuelans. President Maduro was taken to the United States to be charged for drug trafficking, but the government quickly rescinded this idea that Maduro had any connection to the Cartel of the Suns. This was not a true regime change, given that Maduro's party, the PSUV, is still in power, and the United States does not, at this time, have boots on the ground in the country or a clear plan to occupy the country. The U.S. government has been transparent that the main reason for this operation was to create a new avenue for domestic oil corporations to operate and have positions of power in Venezuela. However, President Trump recently stated that there are plans to take over countries like Greenland, Iran, Colombia, and Mexico. If they do end up doing something similar, they will likely look to capitalize on a situation where there is mass unrest, such as Iran, where over 1 million people have been protesting the government due to worsening economic conditions that are a byproduct of U.S.-imposed sanctions, as well as a dissatisfaction of the government. That's it for this week's News Roundup. Was there anything else you wanted to hear about? Let us know and have a great weekend.